38th day, Cynthia, that we've done virtual story time. And we do it every weekday because our libraries are closed. And this is such a big part of children's lives every day at libraries. We have hundreds, thousands of people that come. So, but today's a real special day because we have the very accomplished, beautiful, intelligent, dynamic, but my friend is the most important title, Academy Award nominee. I always want to say winner because I know it's coming, but but Academy Award nominee, Miss Cynthia Erivo, who's graciously agreed to join us for Storytime. So welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, and we hope we probably have some new viewers today. So, and that's why I wanted to say what the point of Storytime was. We do this to help with early literacy for young people, and also, come on and say hi on this side. My two daughters want to say hi. Wow. So come on. This is you say hi. That's Miss Cynthia. Yeah. This is Addison right here, and this is Ava. So they say
hi.
So you guys are, you guys gonna go watch?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. All right. So we do this to help with learning loss, but also give parents a 30-minute break during the day.
That's good. That's
good. Exactly. And so we've grown a following. I'm lead for libraries in Montgomery County, so I'm kind of like the subcommittee chair. So we have all of them are closed. So we did this in partnership. So thank you so much. You're helping give people a lot of excitement.
Cool. My pleasure. I'm glad I could be of some help.
Oh no, it's as you know, it's a tough time and kids have to stay home and parents and caregivers. So we're trying to do everything we can to help them not get the virus economically, but also we realize that you need some relief sometimes. So you're going to be reading, if my understanding is We're All Wonders.
Yes.
That's right. So why did you pick that book? Could you just tell us why?
I liked the idea that it let everybody know that their differences are special and that we should be able to accept everyone for their differences, for the different things that they have and are, and we should be confident about them. Yeah,
that's a super important message. Super important. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I thought it was right for now to tell everybody we're all one and the same.
That's right. We're all impacted. This virus doesn't care who you are. All of our, one of the things I've learned doing this 38 days is that story time is about a lot of different things. There's the reading of the books, which is the literacy component. It's so important, but it's also social interaction. It's also singing and understanding shapes and objects and all that. So we've over the time of the last 2 months almost that we've been doing this, we've incorporated different things.
Yeah.
And so first thing I normally do, which I'm going to do, and then I'm going to turn it over to you for your book, is I say hi to everybody who was here the previous day because they type on my page and they love hearing their names said. So I'm going to do that. I don't want to change the pattern for anybody.
Okay.
So my shout out list, and this is a special shout out list because we have Mr. Erivo here. I want to say hi to Robin and go ahead.
Hi, Robin.
And then Mateo.
Hi, Mateo.
And Christiana.
Hi, Christiana.
And Luke.
Hi, Luke.
And Ashley.
Hello, Ashley. And
Olivia.
Hello, Olivia.
And Hector.
Hi, Hector. Good to meet you.
Yay, say hi. And then anyway, as always, I always say, if you want me to say hi to you, type a message. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of messages today. I know it won't be the same because Miss Cynthia won't be here, but I will say hi to you on Monday when we're back. And then what we do is I sing a welcome song, which is a common story time thing to welcome everybody, because like you said, we're all in this together. We want everyone to feel welcome, even if we didn't say your name, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to sing that, and you can listen and let me know what you think, because not only is Miss Erivo an Academy Award nominee, she is also a Grammy winner. And so she's got some serious vocal chops. So I'm a little nervous.
No one needs to be nervous. No one needs to be nervous.
All right. So this is called our Storytime welcome song. We clap and sing hello. We clap and sing hello. With our friends, it's story time. We clap and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. With our friends, it's story time. We wave and sing hello. And then we get a deep voice. We stop and sing hello. We stop and sing hello. With our friends, it's story time. We stop and sing hello. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How was that? Did I do okay?
That was lovely.
Thank you so much. She's so kind. She's so gracious too, you know. So now it's my pleasure and my honor to turn it over to Miss Cynthia Erivo to read her book, We're All Wonders. And that is written and illustrated by R.J. Palacio and used with the permission of Alfred A. Kopf. And we thank all the publishers who have allowed us to use their books during this time. So I will turn it over to you.
Thank you. We're All Wonders by R.J. Palacio. I know I'm not an ordinary kid. Sure, I do ordinary things. I ride a bike, I eat ice cream, I play ball. I just don't look ordinary. I don't look like other kids. My mom says I'm unique. She says I'm a wonder. My dog Daisy agrees. But some people don't see that I'm a wonder. All they see is how different I look. Sometimes they stare at me. They point or laugh. They even say mean things behind my back, but I can hear them. It hurts my feelings. It hurts Daisy's feelings too. When that happens, I put on my helmet, I put Daisy's helmet on too, and then we blast off, up, 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 up through the clouds, across the galaxy, all the way to Pluto. We say hello to old friends. From far away, the Earth looks so small. I can't see any people, but I know they're there. Billions of people, people of all different colors, people who walk and talk differently, people who look different like me. The Earth is big enough for all kinds of people. I know I can't change the way I look, but maybe, just maybe, people can change the way they see. If they do, they'll see that I'm a wonder. And they'll see that they're wonders too. We are all wonders. Look with kindness and you'll always find wonder.
That was awesome. It's such an important reminder, like you said, that while we're all at home or stay at home, and while things are starting to reopen in certain parts of the country, but we still need to be safe and stay apart physically in some ways, that we're all connected and we're all beautiful and we're all the way God made us.
Yeah. That's why I picked it. I think when I was reading it, I just liked how it made me feel when I read it. And I'm like, it's a kid's book, but it's a beautiful book. And I think it's good for all of us, including our children and our adults, to remind ourselves that we're all beautiful people, even if we're different.
That's exactly right. Yeah. It's interesting, as I've done the story time, we actually have quite a few just adults that without, children that watch, because we read a range of books, but just because, who doesn't, we all need reminders of these core lessons you learn from a lot of these children's books, that we're all beautiful the way we are, that we have challenges, that even though we're different, we're the same, and how we have to help each other and learn from our mistakes, all those things. So it's just it's been a cool thing. Thank you for reading that.
My pleasure. That was really cool.
So I'm going to do my book, which is Grace for President, which is one of my kids' favorite books. And, you know, I figured, you know, why not do this? We're in an election year, you know, we've got a lot going on. There are big time things at stake as far as our country. And this is a very uplifting book as well. So I don't know, have you ever seen this book?
I have not. I'm going to be listening.
Yeah, you're in for it. You're in for it now. All right, here we go. All right, so Grace for President. And I'm going to warn everybody, it's kind of worn because my girls have read it a lot. So don't judge me, okay? I think there's even writing on some pages, but you know, so it's okay. But we want to thank, as always, this is written by Kelly DiPuccio, illustrated by Lu Wen Pham, and it's used with the permission of Hyperion Books. So thank you to all of those folks who contributed to this. All right. Starts with a page of presidents, some of our presidents. George Washington at the beginning there, and Abraham Lincoln, and John F. Kennedy. And then you see Grace has put herself in a picture there. So I think you might know what this is going to be about. Grace for President. All right. One Monday morning in September, Mrs. Barrington rolled out a big poster with all of the president's pictures on it. Grace Campbell could not believe her eyes. "Where are the girls?" she said. No girls on that picture. "That is a very good question," said Miss Barrington. "The truth is, our country has never had a woman president." "No girl president? Ever?" Grace asked. "No, I'm afraid not," said Mrs. Barrington. Grace sat at her desk and stewed. No girls? Who'd ever heard of such a crazy thing? Finally, she raised her hand. "Yes, Grace," Miss Barrington said. "I've been thinking it over, and I'd like to be president." Several students in the class laughed. Kids aren't always nice, right? "Well, I think that's a star-spangled idea, Grace," said Miss Barrington. "In fact, we can have our own election right here at Woodrow Wilson Elementary." The snickering in the room stopped. Grace smiled. "Would anyone else like to run for president?" Mrs. Barrington asked the class. Nobody raised their hand. Becoming president was going to be easy, Grace thought. Let's see. The next day, Mrs. Barrington made an announcement. "In the name of democracy, I have invited Mrs. Waller's class to join our election. Their class has nominated Thomas Cobb to be their presidential candidate." And you see pictures, Thomas winning a spelling bee and a science fair, and athlete. Thomas was a pretty popular kid, looks like. Grace's heart sank. Thomas was the school's spelling bee champion. His experiments always took a blue ribbon at the science fair. And he was captain of the soccer team. Becoming president wasn't going to be so easy after all, Grace thought. All right, this page has really a lot of writing on it, so sorry, I apologize. The teachers put the names of all 50 states and the District of Columbia into a hat. Everyone except for Grace and Thomas got to choose a state. "I'm Texas," said Anthony. "I'm New Hampshire," said Rose. "I'm Michigan," said Robbie. "What does number 17 mean?" "Each state is assigned a number of electoral votes. That number is determined by how many people live in that state," said Mrs. Barrington. "Each of you will be a representative for your state. Altogether, our country has 538 electoral votes," Mr. Waller explained. "On election day, the candidate who receives 270 electoral votes or more wins the election. Why 270? Asked Rose. That's more than half of all the electoral votes, Mr. Waller said. Becoming president really wasn't going to be easy, Grace thought. Grace came up with a campaign slogan. Make history. Vote Grace Campbell for president, her sign said. Thomas came up with his own campaign slogan. Vote for Thomas Cobb, the best man, he emphasized, for the job. Grace listened to what issues were important to the students, and she made a list of campaign priorities. It says a peaceful school, no bullies, a cleaner school, no littering, better hot lunches, no more fish stick tacos. Sounds like a good campaign pledge. Thomas made up his own list of priorities. Free tutoring, free soccer lessons, fish stick tacos every week. So he must like them. Grace made campaign posters and buttons. Thomas made posters and buttons too. This is bringing back flashbacks to my election. Each week, the teachers set aside time for the candidates to meet with their constituents. So they're having different group meetings. Polls were taken. Voters were making their choices. That's what democracy is about when it works. At recess, Grace gave speeches. During lunch, she handed out free cupcakes. After school, she held rallies. She was busy. Meanwhile, Thomas wasn't worried. He had cleverly calculated that the boys held slightly more electoral votes than the girls. So he wrote them all down on a piece of paper there, on a chalkboard. At recess, Thomas studied his spelling words. During lunch, he worked on his latest science experiment. After school, he played soccer. So he wasn't working as hard as Grace, huh? Even before the election, Grace made good on her promises. She joined the safety squad. She organized the school beautification committee, and she volunteered her time in the school cafeteria. At the end of the day, Grace was tired. In early November, which is when we hold our presidential elections this year too, and every year, every 4 years, Woodrow Wilson Elementary hosted a special election day assembly. Grace and Thomas took their places on stage as the school band began to play. Wyoming came up, cast their vote. Thomas grinned. Grace felt sick. Sam walked up to the microphone. He looked at Thomas. He looked at Grace. He looked down at Grace's handmade flag. Sam didn't say a word. So I have to pause here because I just realized as I was reading this, my kids have taken out a page of the book. so I'm going to tell you what led to this point. They were pretty much tied. And it came down to this state, to Wyoming's electoral votes. And so he was the last person to come vote. So he steps up, and he's a boy. Remember, Thomas had gotten all the boys written down. So now he's about to cast his vote to decide the election. So that's what happened. And I'm going to find those pages. Thomas grinned. Grace felt sick. Sam walked up to the microphone. He looked at Thomas. He looked at Grace. He looked down at Grace's handmade flag that she had done. Sam didn't say a word. "What are you waiting for?" Thomas whispered. The band stopped playing. All eyes were on Wyoming. Finally, Sam cleared his throat. The equality state of Wyoming casts its 3 electoral votes for, here we go, Grace Campbell! Yay! The gymnasium erupted into loud cheers and a few boos. Not everyone was happy. Mrs. Barrington approached the podium. with 270 electoral votes. The winner is Grace Campbell. Thomas looked stunned. Grace hugged Sam. Why did you do it? She asked. Sam handed Grace his flag. Because, he said, I thought you were the best person for the job. Mm. The following week, the students in Mrs. Barrington's class were preparing for their career day presentations. Grace volunteered to go first. She stood at the front of the room and glanced at the poster still hanging on the wall. She stood up and said, my name is Grace Campbell, and when I grow up, I'm going to be president of the United States. This time, everyone believed that she would. And that's a picture of her in her dreams, maybe not in her dreams, later becoming president, being sworn in. Isn't that cool?
Really cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
It's it's another good lesson that even though something hasn't been done before, doesn't mean you can't be the first to do it, right?
Right. So good.
You're doing that all the time, right? You've broken a lot of barriers.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's watching Grace dream and stuff like that. That's how it all starts. You start with a dream, and then you realize that you could make it into a reality. And so you keep working towards it. Yeah.
That's right. And I'm really hopeful on this specific dream. I know you probably share my hope that we have a woman president sooner rather than later.
Me too. Yeah, very much so.
Hopefully we'll start with a vice president this time around. But I'm going to sing my hand washing song, then we're going to sign off. You can critique me one more time. One of the things that we try to do is remind people while we're inside and while we're staying 6 feet away and doing social distancing, it's very important that you wash your hands. Yeah. And so we came up with this, someone came up with, and we have been using this very cool hand washing song that now all my kids know and a lot of our viewers know, that if you sing it 2 times and you do the instructions of the song, your hands will be clean. Okay. So I'm going to, so feel free to use it in the future if you need to. Yeah. So it goes like this. Tops and bottoms, in between, rub them all together, scrub them all together. Now they're clean. So you got to do it twice. Make sure we're clean. Tops and bottoms, in between, rub them all together, scrub them all together. Now they're clean. Thank you, Cynthia.
My pleasure.
So we're so happy that you joined us. I really appreciate all the work that you do, with your art. I'd be remiss if not mentioning that yesterday we just started reading. Sometimes books are long, so we do them over 2 days. We just started reading I Am Harriet, which is a children's book.
Yeah.
About Harriet Tubman, who I know you have become to know intimately well. She's a Marylander and just a dynamic woman. And you had the great honor and did a wonderful job and were nominated for an Oscar for playing her in a biopic film, Harriet. And I just wanted to let you know we were doing that film. And since you're here in Maryland on Storytime, I don't know if you wanted to comment on that, but I just wanted to let you know we are learning about her in Storytime right now.
Wonderful. Yeah, no, that was one of the most special experiences I've had. And obviously it's changed my life for the better. And so Harriet was already, I guess, an idol, if you can call it, a hero of mine, but more so after doing that film, because I had to learn in depth about who she was and what she did and what she was able to do. So yeah, she's special. Yeah. Yeah, she's obviously we're trying to get nationally trying to get her on the $20 bill and move that forward. But there's so many monuments. There's a big historical center here in Maryland. So it's one of the things where you have to learn your history, even if it's troubling. Yeah. Because as you know, she went through a lot. But that's how we get better, right? Absolutely. We learn by experience. Yeah.
Well, thank you again and for joining. And I'm sure my viewers are excited. I'll see all the comments later, but really happy. I love everything you're doing. I love you personally and just so excited. And thank you for spending some of your day with us.
Well, my pleasure. And thank you for doing this for everyone. This is wonderful.
All right. Well, let's say goodbye, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, schools are closed for the. We'll see you on Monday. Schools are closed for the remainder of the year, so we're going to be doing story time until the library is open back up. So who knows how long we're going, but we're having fun doing it.
Yeah.
And even though I give a brief update to all our parents, even though the governor has opened up certain parts of the state, we are still at a stay-at-home order here in Montgomery County and Prince George's County and Washington, D.C., because we still have a high number of cases. So please stay safe this weekend. I know the weather is 87 degrees here in Maryland today, believe it or not, Cynthia.
In Maryland? So, that's crazy.
I know. So there's a lot of temptation for people to go outside, but we want to keep people safe. One of the reasons we flattened the curve is because we've stayed inside. So if you go outside for a walk or ride your bike, 6 feet away, wear your facial covering. Those orders are still in effect for Montgomery County, Prince George's County, and Washington, D.C. So, all right. Well, have a good weekend, everybody. Thanks again, Cynthia. So great to see you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.